Hey Go community, welcome back to our channel. I'm Renna from Go Overseas, and if you're like me, you have probably daydreamed about living in a new country, backpacking the world, and speaking with locals in their native language. But here's the thing, learning a new language isn't as hard as it seems if you know the right one to choose. Today, we're diving into the 5 easiest languages for native English speakers to learn, because let's face it, learning a new language can make your travels so much more fun and immersive. So let's get right into it. First up, we've got Spanish, and it's definitely one of the most popular languages for a reason. Spanish is spoken by over 460 million people worldwide, which makes it the second most spoken language globally. And also, it's one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. Learning it can be a huge advantage for travel, business, and cultural experiences worldwide. Why is Spanish easy to learn for native English speakers? Spanish is incredibly phonetic, meaning it's pronounced exactly how it's written. Now keep the word phonetic in mind and the meaning, because I'm going to be using this quite a lot during this video. Many words are actually similar to English because they both share Latin roots. The sentence structure is often very straightforward when it comes to learning and beginners. And finally, it has a very simple alphabet with only one additional letter, which looks like this. If you've ever wanted to explore Spain, Mexico, or any other amazing Latin American country, Spanish will open up so many doors for you here. Imagine ordering tapas in Madrid or bargaining at the local market in Mexico City, all in Spanish. Some pros include phonetic spelling, it being widely spoken, and many similar words to English. For example, atención, attention. Similar, right? And some of the cons are that the verb conjugations can be tricky at times, especially when you're learning. So why not dive into watching Money Heist on Netflix, Disney's Coco, or listening to some of Bad Bunny's music to even further immerse yourself. Next up is French. Now I know French can sound a little intimidating with its tricky pronunciation, but bear with me here guys. French is spoken by over 300 million people across 5 continents. This makes it one of the most useful languages you can learn. It's an official language in over 29 countries and plays a key role in international organizations, business, and the European Union. Here is why French is easier to learn than you might think. French shares a ton of vocabulary with English due to its historic influences. Many English words actually come directly from French, so you'll recognize a lot more than you might initially think. Whilst the pronunciation, as I said, can be a little difficult, the grammar rules are pretty structured. Last but not least, it's a key language for global business, diplomacy, and of course, the main one, fashion. French is spoken in over 29 countries, from France to Canada, parts of Africa, and even in the Caribbean. Imagine strolling through Paris confidently during Fashion Week, ordering croissants, or speaking with the locals in Morocco. French is such a game changer to learn. Pros include the many English cognates it has, and it being used in international business worldwide. And the main con when learning French is the pronunciation can be difficult and you might get it wrong, especially when you're learning. To immerse yourself even further, why not watch Emily in Paris? I know you've probably already seen it, but this time turn the French subtitles on and try and understand as you go. Now let's talk Italian. Italian is often a favorite for travelers. Let's just look at the movie Eat, Pray, Love. This has completely inspired me for one. With about 85 million speakers worldwide, Italian is the language of art, culture, and of course, the language of love. Italian is actually the closest living language to Latin, meaning learning Italian can make it easier to understand medical, legal, and scientific terms. Italian has regular pronunciation rules, meaning once you know how to say a word, you can pretty much say it the same every time round. It's very similar to both Spanish and French, which makes it a really good choice for a third language if you already know a second language, Spanish or French. Musicality and sound of the language when you say it actually makes it easier to remember phrases when you're learning. Some of the pros include regular pronunciation, which is similar to Spanish and French. Cons include that it's just less globally spoken compared to Spanish or French, meaning less practice in the real world. And you can find some tricky verb conjugations when you're learning Italian. So why not try watching Luca, The Great Beauty, or listening to Kim Kardashian's favorite, Andrea Bocelli's music. Now, you might be surprised by this one, but Dutch is actually one of the easiest Germanic languages you can learn as an English speaker. It has about 23 million native speakers, mainly in the Netherlands and Belgium, and another 5 million people speak it as a second language. So why is learning Dutch easy and a great option for you? Dutch shares a ton of vocabulary with English, make it relatively easy to understand. There may be words that you hear that are similarly related to English that you'll pick up straight away. The sentence structure is very similar to English, and Dutch grammar is much simpler than German. Learning Dutch can be a great stepping stone for other Germanic languages, like German. So if you're traveling to the Netherlands or Belgium, Dutch can really help you enhance your experience. The pros include it sharing many words with English and having very, very simple grammar. And the cons include it is again just less globally spoken, and sometimes the pronunciation can be a little bit different with certain words. Why not try watching The Undercover Movie or listening to some of Tiesto's music? Last but definitely not least, we have got Portuguese. With over 260 million speakers worldwide, it's the 6th most spoken language in the world. It's the official language of Brazil, Portugal, and several countries in Africa, making it a very valuable language for travelers and business professionals worldwide. Why is it easy to learn? It's quite similar to Spanish and Italian, so if you already know one of those, it can be quite easy to pick up. Portuguese is actually mostly phonetic with a few little pronunciation exceptions in mind, and the verb tenses are more flexible in casual conversation compared to Spanish or French. So whether you're surfing in Brazil or wine tasting in Portugal, Portuguese will be a massive asset to your travels. The pros include it's similar to Spanish and Italian, and it has that phonetic spelling, and some cons are the pronunciation can be quite difficult at first. To further immerse yourself, why not try watching 3% or listening to music by Anita? Okay, now that we've covered the 5 easiest languages to learn, let's talk about how we can learn them faster and become fluent. Number 1, make it a daily habit. Even just 10 to 15 minutes a day with the help of apps like Duolingo can help you stay super consistent on your language learning journey. Number 2, immerse yourself. Try watching TV shows, movies, following native language speakers on social media, or even setting your phone to the language that you're learning. And number 3, speak as much as possible. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Connect with as many native language speakers as you can to practice, and even try visiting the countries beforehand on a little solo trip to immerse yourself in the language and learn more. But these are just a few of our tips. If you guys want a full video on language learning hacks and how to become fluent faster, let us know in the comments down below. We would love to do that for you guys. So there you have it. Whether you're gearing up for a backpacking adventure or just looking to immerse yourself in new cultures, these are the 5 easiest languages that you can learn as a native English speaker. So if you're ready to start your language learning journey, head over to Go Overseas, where we share even more tips, tricks, and language programs and travel experiences to help further your meaningful travel journey. I've left a link down below for you to check it out now. And also, as a little hack, explore our language schools. There's nothing better than immersing yourself in the culture whilst you're there. Imagine learning Spanish while you're surfing at the beach in Mexico with the locals. We have hundreds of language school options on Go Overseas. I really encourage you to check them out, check the reviews, and see if any of them work for you on your language learning journey. As always, don't forget to leave a like on this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more travel tips from us. And of course, drop a comment down below and let us know what language you're going to be learning first. Over and out, Go community.